So here's a stupid cheap ass Chinese fusible link box. And here's a stupid cheap ass fusible link.
Not potato, not potato.
See the gap? So that's what's stopping the car. Now that isn't burnt out, it's just because it's straight and it's in a plastic box and it expands and contracts. It's basically just itself because of that. Now, as with a lot of manufacturing decisions on automobiles that are to do with cost, it's sometimes difficult for us to understand the scale. So if something costs 10 cents a car less by manufacturing it the way that they do, we just go, well, that's cheap, it's only 10 cents. But if you're manufacturing 1 million cars, then it adds up. Now, as much as we all think that every business makes a crap ton of money, that's not actually necessarily the case. So that 10 cents might pay an extra person's wages, which then can get them another car, which I mean then does make them more profit, but you get the point. And it's probably not 10 cents. It's probably $1 or $2 a car that are saved. So over 1 million cars, that's a couple of $1 million. Now, whether that money then is usefully employed within the company to generate more profit for the company, to pay people better, that's a completely different story. See, now there's fusible links. Whoops, I put one in upside down. If I was particularly pedantic, if I was particularly pedantic, I'd change it. But see, they've got squiggles in them now, so they won't suffer that breakage from tension. So I don't know if I actually have a point. I don't know if there was a point to what I was saying. Just that sometimes there are cheap parts in cars. Is the cumulative cost of all the cheap parts a deciding factor in whether or not you purchase a specific vehicle? Possibly. But that vehicle that we were looking at is a Great Wall. Now, I would never ever tell anyone to buy a new Chinese vehicle, but a second-hand one, all of the profit's already gone. It was a quarter the price of any other vehicle, the same year, same sort of mileage, and we've really only spent a few $100s keeping it going. Probably would have had to spend a different couple of $100s on a different vehicle. But again, the fit and finish is a bit ordinary, a lot of stuff needs adjusting, and it's all just my time. Now, my time isn't necessarily worth that much money, but a lot of other people wouldn't have the time that they could personally put into doing these repairs, so it is more worthwhile for them to purchase a more well-known company. Probably only something Japanese, maybe something Korean, but if it's a Ute or something like that, I don't think the Koreans really make that many Utes. So you've got to weigh up, when you spend money on things like that, you've got to weigh up yourself whether your time is more valuable than just eliminating all the fucking around and buying a vehicle from a more established manufacturer in a company, from a country that doesn't use slave labor. That's the deciding factor for me in a new vehicle. Don't buy things made with slave labor, which is why I don't have an iPhone. But be excellent to each other, be excellent to yourself, and that's all I've got to say about that. I don't really have anything else to say.